Emily, a 29-year-old artist, felt her hands shaking on the steering wheel as she pulled into her parents' driveway that cold Thanksgiving afternoon. The familiar two-story house looked exactly the same, but seeing her younger sister Lily's brand-new white Mercedes parked right in front made her stomach twist painfully. Memories of holidays filled with warmth and laughter floated through her mind, back when she and Lily were simply sisters, not constant competitors in their mother's comparison game. She took a deep breath, grabbed the small painting she had brought as a gift, and whispered to herself, "Just get through tonight, Emily." The autumn air brushed against Emily's cheeks as she stepped out of the car, clutching the wrapped painting she'd spent weeks creating. It wasn't expensive, but it was made with love, something money couldn't measure. Her landlord had already called twice that week about her late rent, and she only had negative $37 in her account, but she pushed the thought away. Lily had clearly arrived early, judging by the way her spotless Mercedes sat perfectly centered in the driveway like a trophy. Lily the lawyer. Lily the success story. Emily sighed, preparing herself for another long evening of comparisons. The door opened before Emily could knock. Her father, Henry, stood there with his warm smile, the same gentle smile that always made her feel safe as a child. His gray hair looked thinner this year, his eyes more tired, yet his hug still felt like home. "There's my artist," he said softly. "Your mom and Lily are in the kitchen. They're planning something big from the sound of it." Emily forced a small laugh and followed him inside. The smell of turkey and rosemary filled the air, wrapping the house in a familiar holiday warmth she wasn't sure she still belonged in. The dining room looked like a magazine spread carefully arranged by her mother, Martha, who had always cared more about perfection than comfort. She stood at the stove stirring gravy while Lily talked excitedly beside her, her blonde curls catching the kitchen lights like they were meant to shine only on her. A massive diamond ring sparkled on Lily's finger. "Oh, when did that happen?" Emily asked, trying to sound cheerful. "Last week," Lily said proudly. "Mark proposed at that fancy rooftop restaurant in New York. He booked out the whole place." Their mother turned, smiling smugly. "He's a partner at her firm, Emily." Before Emily could respond, Henry gently pulled her aside into the quiet kitchen corner. He handed her a potato peeler and whispered, "I saw your painting at the coffee shop on 6th Street, the one with the bluebirds. It's beautiful." Emily froze. "You went to see it?" she asked. Henry nodded. "Every morning. The owner says someone offered $300 for it." Emily looked down, peeling slowly. His voice softened as he added, "You should be proud, sweetheart." For the first time that evening, her chest loosened a little. At least someone in this house still believed in her. Voices exploded from the living room as more relatives arrived, an orchestra of loud greetings, bragging, and forced laughter. Emily followed her father with a bowl of mashed potatoes, trying to stay invisible. Aunt Linda announced her son's promotion before she even removed her coat. "David just bought a 4-bedroom house with a pool. And Jennifer is pregnant again," she bragged, smiling wide. Her mother instantly countered by highlighting Lily's engagement to her wealthy fiancé. Emily placed the dishes carefully, hoping no one would ask about her life. But Uncle Tom spotted her and called out, "Still doing that art thing, Emily?" Before Emily could open her mouth, her father answered for her. "She teaches art to children with special needs. It changes their lives." Aunt Linda responded with a smile too sweet to be sincere. "That's nice. But can you really make a living from that, dear? At your age, shouldn't you think about stability?" Emily breathed slowly. "I'm managing," she said. Lily laughed lightly. "Emily's always been the free spirit. Someone has to be, right?" Their mother chimed in sharply. "Lily isn't boring, she's successful. There's a difference." The sting of the words settled in Emily's chest like a stone. Trying to defend herself, Emily said, "Actually, I have a small gallery showing next month." Aunt Linda clapped dramatically. "Oh, how wonderful. Where is it?" Emily hesitated, knowing what was coming. Downtown at the Contemporary Art Space. Her mother didn't miss a beat. Never heard of it. Is it one of those pop-up places? Emily shook her head. It's been there for 10 years. Emerging artists, her mother repeated, tasting the word like it was sour. At 29, shouldn't you have already emerged? Emily felt heat rise in her cheeks as the entire table turned to watch her reaction. Dinner finally began, and Emily took her usual seat between her father and her little cousin. Across the table sat Lily and her fiancé Mark, who seemed perfect in every predictable way. He complimented the food, praised the decor, and held Lily's hand like a trophy he wanted everyone to see. Emily wanted to hate him but couldn't find a single flaw to cling to. Her mother stood, tapping her wine glass for silence. Before we eat, I want to say a few words about gratitude. The whole room quieted, and Emily braced herself. She knew that tone too well. This year has been extraordinary, her mother began proudly. Lily has exceeded every expectation. Senior associate at 27, engaged to a wonderful man from a wonderful family. Lily blushed as relatives clapped softly. Her mother continued, praising cousins, uncles, and achievements that filled the room like a trophy display. Then came the pause, long, heavy, sharp. I have 2 daughters, she said, eyes sliding toward Emily. One is accomplished and the other is... Another pause stretched. A dreamer who still hasn't learned how the real world works. The room froze. Forks hovered. Emily felt her heart drop to her stomach. Her mother's voice sharpened. Let's be honest. I have one daughter who contributes to society and another who lives hand to mouth, teaching finger painting to children who, let's face it, won't go far in life. A soft gasp circled the table. Lily whispered, Mom, please. But Martha didn't stop. Some of us grow up. Some stay children forever. Emily's fingers tightened around her fork. Her father gently squeezed her hand under the table, but the words had already pierced through her like glass. She slowly pushed her chair back, the scraping sound loud in the thick, suffocating silence. Emily stood, her legs trembling but her voice surprisingly calm. The painting I brought is a gift, she said, nodding toward the brown-wrapped canvas leaning against the wall. Since everyone seems very interested in discussing what I am and what I'm not. Her mother hissed, Sit down, Emily. But Emily stayed standing. You want to know why my life looks the way it does? Why I didn't become the version of success you wanted? Lily looked scared. Her father whispered, Emily, take a breath. But Emily lifted her chin. No, not this time. You all need to hear this. For 3 years, Emily began, her voice cracking but steady, I watched Grandma lose herself piece by piece. I changed her clothes. I stayed up with her when she cried for people who died years ago. I slept on her floor because she was afraid of being alone. Her mother folded her arms. Nobody asked you to do that. Emily stared at her. You said family comes first. You said someone needed to stay because we couldn't afford a home nurse. Lily shifted uncomfortably. I sent money, she said weakly. $500, Emily replied. Not even close to enough. You visited twice in 3 years, Emily reminded her sister. 2 times, Lily. For 1 hour each. Lily swallowed. I had school. I had work. Emily nodded. And I gave up school for her. I gave up everything. Her mother snapped. You chose to do that. Yes, Emily said. And you chose to let me. She reached into her pocket and pulled out her phone, showing an email. This is from the art school that held my scholarship for 3 years. They believed in me. They waited for me. But I couldn't go. Not when Grandma needed someone who loved her. The room shifted. Chairs creaked. Someone cleared their throat. Emily showed more photos. Grandma crying. Grandma smiling softly during a lucid moment. Grandma holding Emily's hand. Her father's voice shook as he said, Emily, I didn't know it was this bad. Emily nodded. Because Mom didn't want you to know. She said it would stress you. She said I had it handled. Her mother's face flushed. I didn't want to burden anyone. You didn't want to look imperfect, Emily corrected. You sacrificed me to protect your image. You let everyone think this family handled things together. But it was just me. Lily suddenly whispered. I didn't know. I swear I didn't know. Emily turned to her. When would I have told you? During your 5-minute texts about your promotions. While I was cleaning up after Grandma's accidents. Lily wiped her tears. I never meant to leave you alone. Emily sighed. Maybe not. But you did. And Mom let everyone believe I stayed home because I was irresponsible. Not because I was holding this family together. Her mother snapped back. You're twisting everything. But Aunt Linda spoke softly. No, Martha. She isn't. We all remember how sick your mother was. Her father stepped forward now, voice trembling with restrained anger. Martha, I tried to hire help. You stopped me. You didn't want strangers in the house. You said family should take care of family. Emily's eyes glistened. But you didn't mean family. You meant me. Her mother's mask cracked. You don't understand. I understand perfectly, Emily cut in. You gave up 6 months for Grandpa years ago. You resented it. And then you spent years pushing me to be the version of you that didn't get sacrificed. Martha sank into her chair, breathing hard. I was trying to protect you. Protect me. Emily laughed softly, shaking her head. By calling me a failure. By throwing my life choices in my face every holiday. Her mother's hands trembled. I wanted you to be strong. I wanted you to choose yourself. I did, Emily said, voice gentle now. I chose the part of myself that loved people more than prestige. I chose the part that shows up. Lily murmured. Emily. I'm so sorry. Emily took a shaky breath. I don't need apologies. I need everyone here to finally understand I didn't waste my life. I lived it differently. That's not failure. Her father quietly reached for a newspaper clipping tucked in his pocket. I've been saving this, he said. He unfolded it, reading aloud. Local artist Emily Brown transforms lives through art therapy for special needs children. Gasps circled the table. Her mother rolled her eyes. One article doesn't erase irresponsibility. Emily faced her calmly. It's not about articles. It's about impact. Her father continued reading testimonies from parents whose children learned to speak or express emotions for the first time. Emily's voice softened. My work matters to them. Even if it never matters to you. Then, taking the painting she'd brought, still wrapped in brown paper, Emily slowly tore it in half. The rip echoed through the room, sharp and shocking. I'm done, she said, letting the pieces fall. Done pretending we're a perfect family. Done fighting for approval I'll never get. Lily covered her mouth in shock. Her father whispered, Emily, sweetheart. But Emily shook her head. I've spent years painting a picture of a family that doesn't exist. And tonight, I'm done rewriting myself to fit inside it. The room remained frozen, every pair of eyes fixed on her trembling hands. Her mother stood abruptly, fury shaking through her voice. How dare you embarrass me in front of this family? How dare you ruin Thanksgiving with your drama? Emily met her gaze calmly. How dare I tell the truth? Her mother's lips thinned. You're acting like a child. No, Emily replied softly. I'm acting like someone who finally sees things clearly. Lily whispered. Mom, please stop. But Martha snapped. Stay out of this. Emily's voice didn't waver. I'm not the villain in this story. I'm just the only one willing to say what's been happening for years. Emily took a breath. There's something else I didn't tell you. The State Arts Council offered me a job a few months ago. Director of Community Outreach. $60,000 a year. Benefits. Stability. The room murmured. Her mother blinked in disbelief. Then why didn't you take it? Emily looked at her calmly. Because it would have taken me away from the kids who need me. From Tommy, who spoke his first word while painting. From Sarah, who stopped hurting herself because sculpting gave her peace. From Marcus, who found safety in colors when the world scared him. Her mother scoffed. Ridiculous. That job would have made you respectable, Martha said sharply. It would have made you someone people admire. Emily shook her head. Respectable to who? You. Your friends. I don't want a life that looks good on paper but feels empty on the inside. Her father stepped forward. Martha listened to her. But Martha slammed her hand against the table. I worked my whole life to give you girls a proper future. And you, she pointed at Emily, her finger shaking. You threw yours away like it meant nothing. Emily whispered. It meant everything. That's why I chose differently. You're a fool, Martha said flatly. Emily nodded calmly. Maybe I am. But I'm a fool who wakes up with purpose. I'm a fool who helps kids find their voice. She looked at Lily. I'm a fool who doesn't trade love for titles. Lily covered her mouth, tears streaming. Emily, I never knew you felt all this. Emily nodded. Because I wasn't allowed to feel anything. Not when it made the family look messy. But I'm messy. And human. And trying. Her father whispered. I'm so proud of you. Martha laughed bitterly. Proud. Of what? Of her poverty. Emily stared at her mother. You keep talking about money like it's the only measure of success. But you're wrong. Then her voice softened. Sarah's dad fixes my studio roof for free because he said I saved his daughter's life. Tommy's mom prints my supplies because she says I gave her hope. Marcus's grandmother cooks me dinner every week because she says I feed his soul. Emily lifted her chin. That isn't begging. That's community. That's love being passed around in different forms. Her mother scoffed. Love doesn't pay your bills. Emily whispered. Maybe not. But it fills my life. A tense silence filled the dining room. Lily suddenly broke it. Mom, she's right. Martha turned sharply. Excuse me. Lily took a shaky breath. I've been chasing the life you wanted for me. Not the life I wanted. I stayed late at work not because I loved it but because you praised me when I did. I got engaged to Mark because it made you happy. Not me. Mark's eyes widened. Lily. She shook her head. I'm sorry, Mark. I should have ended this weeks ago. She slipped off her diamond ring and placed it gently on the table. The room erupted into gasps. Lily, you can't be serious. Martha cried. Lily met her mother's eyes with a steadiness she hadn't shown before. I am. I don't love him. I never did. I loved the idea of your approval. Mark whispered. So I was just convenient. Lily swallowed. You're a good man, Mark. But we weren't together for the right reasons. Martha shouted. This is insane. But Lily continued. Emily choosing her heart made me realize I've been too afraid to choose mine. She turned to her sister. Thank you for being brave when the rest of us weren't. Martha shook her head wildly. No. Well, I raised two strong daughters. You are not weak. You are not confused. Emily stepped closer. Mom. Strength isn't pretending. It's telling the truth even when it hurts. Martha whispered. You think I don't know what truth feels like? Aunt Linda's voice slipped in quietly. Margaret, tell them. Martha froze. Tell us what? Emily asked. Martha sank into her chair, shoulders shaking. I gave up my own scholarship once, she whispered. For your grandfather when he got sick. 6 months. He stayed home. And I hated every minute. No one spoke. Martha wiped her eyes angrily. I watched my life pass me by. I watched everyone else move forward while I stayed behind. I felt trapped. Forgotten. Emily felt her heartbeat soften. Mom. Martha shook her head. I didn't want you to live the life I lived. Emily whispered. But instead of telling me that, you punished me for doing what you once did. Martha's face crumpled. I didn't know how to love you through it. I didn't know how to be proud of a choice that reminded me of my regrets. Emily breathed. You could have tried. Her mother covered her face, sobbing quietly. I failed you, she whispered. Both of you. Emily knelt beside her. Yes, she said honestly. You did. But we survived it. Martha looked up, tears streaking her cheeks. Can you ever forgive me? Emily stood. Forgiveness isn't the problem. Expecting me to shrink myself to fit your idea of success. That's the problem. Lily reached over, placing her hand on Emily's. We can build something better, she said softly. Emily nodded but kept her distance. Maybe. But we can't rebuild anything until we all stop pretending we're the perfect family. The room felt heavy with truth, but something in Emily's chest finally loosened. Suddenly her phone buzzed again and again on the table. She frowned and picked it up. 20 unread emails. All with subject lines starting with, "Congratulations." Her father asked gently, "What is it, sweetheart?" Emily opened one email, then another, her breath catching. "The State Arts Council approved the funding," she whispered. $200,000. They want to expand my program across the entire state. Lily gasped softly. Her father beamed with pride. Even Martha looked stunned. Her mouth slightly open as if the words didn't compute. Emily scrolled further, finding more messages. The Johnson Foundation wants to feature my students at their gala. Channel 7 wants to interview me and Tommy. She covered her mouth, overwhelmed. Her father hugged her, emotional. You earned this. All of it. Martha whispered. You did all this without us? Emily nodded. I did it because of everything you once called foolish. Martha looked down, ashamed. Lily squeezed Emily's arm gently. You're incredible. Emily swallowed hard. I never needed to be famous. I just needed people to understand the work mattered. The room was silent, everyone absorbing her unexpected triumph. Martha stood shakily. Emily, I'm sorry I called you a beggar. I'm sorry I didn't understand your heart. Emily met her eyes calmly. I don't need your apology, Mom. I need space. Martha flinched. Space. Yes, Emily said softly. For years I begged for approval. I'm done begging. I need to build my life without being measured by yours. Martha's voice cracked. But you matter to me. Emily shook her head. You love the idea of who you want me to be. Not who I am. Lily whispered. Mom, let her breathe. Martha sank back into her chair, defeated. Emily walked toward the front door. Relatives watched in absolute silence, unsure if they should speak or remain frozen. Her father followed her. Emily, he said gently, I love you. And I want to be part of your life however you'll let me. Emily hugged him tightly. You're the only one who saw me when everyone else saw disappointment. He whispered. I should have fought harder for you. She shook her head. You're fighting now. Lily came over, eyes red. Can I see you later this week? Emily nodded slowly. Yes. But we go slow. Lily smiled weakly. Slow is good. Mark approached next, looking uncomfortable. Emily, I'm sorry for everything I assumed about you. I didn't know any of this. Emily nodded. Most people didn't. That's the problem. Mark glanced at Lily. His face sad but understanding. I hope you both find what makes you happy. Lily whispered. Thank you. Emily then looked around at the room one last time. All the noise, all the expectations, all the years of silent wounds pressed around her like walls she had finally chosen to walk through. With a steady breath, she reached for her coat hanging by the door. Her father placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. Call me when you get home. Emily nodded. I will. She stepped outside into the cold November evening. The air felt sharper, clearer, almost cleansing. From inside she heard voices rising, arguments beginning, truths unraveling, years of silence breaking open. But none of it belonged to her anymore. Her phone buzzed again. A text from Lily. I'm proud of you, Em. Truly. Emily smiled softly, replying, We'll figure things out one step at a time. She slid her phone into her pocket and walked toward her old car. Her father called just as she started the engine. Drive safe, sweetheart, he said. And remember your mother and I. We have a lot to fix. But I want to fix it. Emily's voice warmed. Don't do it for me, Dad. Do it for yourself. He sighed softly. I'm doing it for truth. Something this family forgot for too long. Emily smiled. I love you. I love you too, he replied. She hung up, letting the quiet fill the car. For the first time in years, she felt completely in control of her own story. 3 months later, Emily stood in her new studio, the one funded by the Arts Council. Bright paintings filled the walls, each created by her students. Tommy proudly showed her a new piece of art shaped like the word hope. Sarah sculpted quietly in a corner, peaceful and focused. Marcus painted bold red strokes across a large canvas, releasing emotion instead of fear. Emily walked through the room, watching them breathe life into colors. These were her people, her purpose, her chosen family. And every brushstroke reminded her why she had chosen this life, despite all the judgment. One afternoon, Lily visited wearing simple jeans and a calm smile. I quit the firm, she confessed. I'm working at legal aid now, helping people who can't afford lawyers. It feels real. Emily smiled. I'm proud of you. Lily nodded. Mom's in counseling. She's volunteering now at a memory care center. Dad says she's learning to see things differently. Emily stared at a painting drying on the wall. That's good for her. Lily swallowed. She asks about you every week. Emily nodded gently. Maybe one day. Lily hugged her tightly. Thank you for showing me what courage really looks like. That evening, as the sun set through the studio windows, Emily began a new painting, a sunrise over an open field. No people. No expectations. Just possibility. Her phone buzzed with a message from an unknown number. It was a photo of her mother sitting beside an elderly woman at the memory center, painting slowly, gently. Below it, her mother had written, I understand now. Too late for us, maybe. But not too late for me to be better for someone else. Emily saved the photo, then put her phone away. She dipped her brush into bright yellow paint and whispered, This is enough.